Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw for the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, it's Off the Bench.
Welcome in hour number 3, a Wednesday edition of Off the Bench here in the capital city. Taylor Sharper with you, Alonzo Villarreal, Braxton Rizzuto inside the Raising Cane studio. Wednesdays Off the Bench brought to you by the folks over at Hood Dental. Busy hours 1 and 2 for us here on the show. We hit a little bit of everything. Coming up next segment, actually, Devin Snow, Hold the Mayo, will join us. Normally joins us Monday at 9:15. He pushed it back to Wednesday due to the craziness of all the Mardi Gras festivities going on in New Orleans. Right now, I want to look at something that ESPN.com put out yesterday. They put out the top transfer portal additions for each top 25 school. You go down the list, you see a number of big name guys. For LSU, surprise, surprise, they have quarterback Sam Leavitt. Obvious choice. No real surprise here. He was the top quarterback in the portal. Immediate impact starter if fully healthy. And he'll thrive in Lane Kiffin's offense. Go look at what he did a year ago. And when you look at the raw numbers, it's nothing that's going to jump off the page at you. But he was hurt. He only played in 7 games. And even some of the games he did play, he was playing injured. 2 years ago, this is a team that went to the college football playoff. They had Texas on the ropes in that game that they played, in the quarterfinal game that they played. And I think they probably should have won that game. I think there was a missed targeting call against Texas that ultimately took points away from Arizona State in that game. That was the Cam Scattaboo game where he kind of announced his presence to the national audience. And Sam Leavitt was really good that year. Now, a lot of people wanted to see what he was going to do without a guy like Cam Scattaboo. And, they had an up and down season. So, of course, the critics came out and said, okay, well, Sam Leavitt can't do it without Cam Scattaboo. But the reality is he was just playing hurt. That's what it was. You saw Garrett Nussmeier here. My argument all season long was, guys, if you don't think Garrett Nussmeier is hurt, I don't really know what to tell you, because you either think he's hurt or he completely forgot how to throw a football. I think one of them is more logical than the other. Turns out Garrett Nussmeier was hurt. Huge shocker to all of us. So, look, I get that they put Sam Leavitt on this list. I understand. Even last year, he had 5 rushing touchdowns in 7 games. He's a mobile quarterback. I think he's going to thrive in Lane Kiffin's offense. The thing that I like more about this, when you go down these list of teams, there's kind of an obvious candidate that jumps out, right? Like Chaz Coleman for Tennessee, the big edge rusher. Yeah, we know that's a huge get. Cam Coleman, big get. You could have kind of had your pick for LSU. It didn't have to be Sam Leavitt. It's an obvious choice. You got the number 1 quarterback in the portal. I get it. But look at some of the other players you brought in. First off, you could go quarterback room as a whole if you wanted to do it that way. Look at Landon Clark and Husan Longstreet. And Husan Longstreet didn't play a ton last year for USC. He played in 3 games. But he was a former 5-star recruit, and people have a lot of expectations for him. Landon Clark coming over from Elon. I get that Elon's a little bit lower of competition, but he thrived at Elon. He ran for a lot of yards. He scored a lot of touchdowns last season. Those 2 guys are going to battle it out in the spring in all likelihood, with Sam Leavitt sidelined for most of the spring with recovering from that foot injury. So I get the Sam Leavitt thing here, but who else could you have went with? What about Jordan Seaton? He was one of the later ads in this portal. He was number 1 left tackle in the portal. He was 2nd team all Big 12 a year ago. And a lot of people kind of raised their eyebrows at Jordan Seaton being the number 1 target or the number one left tackle in the transfer portal, just because when you look at Colorado's offensive line as a whole, the past 2 seasons, it has not been good. He was a little bit better last year, but not much. I mean, Shedeur Sanders set the record for most sacks in a season from a quarterback because he was in front of an awful offensive line 2 years ago. Jordan Seaton, a former 5-star player. He's big, he's physical, like anything you would want in a left tackle. Jordan Seaton brings that to you. I think he's going to slide right in there at that left tackle spot or right tackle. I mean, I think he's got one of those tackle spots pretty much locked down. LSU, went and they spent a lot of money in the portal to bring in players like a Jordan Seaton. So you could have went multiple areas on offense. Heck, you could have went Jace Brown. I'm going to continue to rave about Jace Brown because I think he's going to be really good in this offense. He ran the ball a little bit at Kansas State. He was their go-to receiver. He made a couple tough catches in big-time moments for him. I understand that team didn't have the season that a lot of people thought they were going to, but it wasn't Jace Brown's fault. He was really good when he was on the field for the Wildcats. Jackson Harris, the receiver out of Hawaii, 900 yards and 10 touchdowns in only 12 games. It's another guy that is a big-time playmaker on this offense. Brought in all the running backs. I mean, you could go the offensive line as a whole if you want to extend it past Jordan Seaton. But it goes beyond that. Prince Wiluman-Mielen, the number one edge rusher in the transfer portal. He's a double-digit sack guy coming over from Ole Miss. A guy that has already played under Lane Kiffin, that knows what Lane Kiffin expects. And he had a lot of success for the Rebels last year on defense. He wasn't just Ole Miss's best pass rusher. He was one of the best pass rushers in the SEC. That's why he wound up being the number one edge rusher in the transfer portal. That's why everybody was so thrilled with the Lane Kiffin transfer portal class. You landed Sam Leavitt, the number one quarterback in the portal. You landed Jordan Seaton, the number one left tackle in the portal. And you landed Prince Wiluman-Mielen, the number one edge rusher. What does everyone always say? Most important positions in football, the quarterback position. Those who protect the quarterback, those who get after the quarterback. All 3 of those positions, you landed the number one guy in the portal. It does not get much better than that. I'd take it a step further and go, you could have included Ty Benefield on this list. He's a guy that I rave about. I'm going to continue to rave about him because I think talent-wise, he was one of the best players you signed in the transfer portal. I understand that on paper, safety might not look like a big position of need. Kind of was. I mean, sure, you have Tamarcus Cooley and Deshaun Spears coming back, but what do you have behind him? A little bit of a question mark. I mean, CJ Jim Coyley, he looked the part last year in fall practice as a freshman. Didn't get on the field a ton, but he's a guy that played some safety. They moved him down to star. He was repping star a lot last fall camp. You got some freshmen coming in that can play safety, but outside of those top 2 guys, you didn't have a ton of depth there. And I'm not saying Ty Benefield's a depth piece. He's a lot more than that. He's going to be a starter on this team. You go look at Ty Benefield, multiple big-time seasons at Boise State. Last year, he had over 100 tackles from the safety spot. It was like 85 the year before that. Ty Benefield can play football. I think he's an immediate starter on this defense. And he's a guy that he has the coverage skills, but he also comes up to the line to make a lot of those tackles. So getting Ty Benefield, you could play him at safety, move him to star. If you like him at safety, you could move Deshaun Spears down there to star, which is ultimately what I think I would like to see. Deshaun Spears is 6'3", pushing 220 pounds. That's about what Harold Perkins was when he played star. And Perkins was pretty good there. There are so many guys you could look at in the transfer portal for LSU and say, yep, Lane Kiffin hit a home run with that kid. That's why you brought Lane Kiffin here, to bring in players like this. Sam Leavitt, Jordan Seaton, Prince Wiluman-Mielen, and Ty Benefield. You could have went a number of places. There's probably guys out there I'm forgetting. I mean, Fahim Delane, Mansour Delane's little brother, he's coming in. And I understand that he wasn't an impact player or anything like that at Ohio State. He wasn't a household name, but when Mansour Delane got here, he wasn't a first-team All-American. I mean, he was a second, third-team All-Conference player at Virginia Tech. He was a solid piece that everybody said, oh, yeah, he'll come in, he'll compete for a starting job. Yeah, he blew all of us away out there at fall practice. If you were out there, you know what I'm talking about. And once he got on the field, he showed that it wasn't just a flash in the pan. Mansour Delane's going to be a top 20 pick in all likelihood in the upcoming NFL draft. So it could be somebody completely under the radar. But when you bring in 42 players from the transfer portal, most of them at the top, if not the top of their position, like top 3 or 4 at their position in the portal, you're going to see results like this. It's just a lot of these other teams on this list, like you're like, oh yeah, they landed that one big name guy. That makes sense. Makes sense why Chaz Coleman's on this list for someone. That makes sense why Cam Coleman would be on this list. For LSU, I think you could have went in a number of different places. For what it's worth, Ole Miss on this list, ESPN.com has their biggest impact transfer is Curious Current from LSU. I mean, talked a little bit about it, throughout the offseason, throughout the transfer portal cycle, that you didn't lose a ton that's going to hurt you as far as LSU, like a ton of big-time starters. I think Curious Current was a big one, probably the biggest. That's a guy that the staff loved. He was a 5-star. He got some early playing time, mixed results, but he got thrown in there as a freshman. That's going to happen. He can play guard for you. He can play tackle for you. He's a guy you didn't want to lose. And to lose him to Ole Miss of all places with the Lane Kiffin saga, yada, yada. I know. It sucks, but you got to move on. Curious Current's going to hurt losing in the portal. I think Kyle Parker's actually going to hurt you. I thought Kyle Parker was good. I thought he was one of your top 3 receivers on this year's team. LSU used him a lot in the fourth quarter. You just didn't use him a lot before that. I could never really figure out why that was. Kyle Parker over at Ohio State followed Cortez Hankton. And he's going to have Jeremiah Smith on the other side of him to take pressure off of him. He has Julian Sayin, who I think coming into this year is the best quarterback in college football, throwing him the ball. And those are your 2 big losses. And it sucks to see Curious Current's name sitting there next to Ole Miss, but outside of Curious Current, where do you go for Ole Miss? That's kind of the point. Like, yeah, they got a big name guy. Who'd they get outside of that? And like for Indiana, on this list, they have Josh Hoover as their biggest name transfer. And I agree. And Josh Hoover, that was kind of an early signing. And that was one that happened really, really soon once he entered the transfer portal. And Josh Hoover was a guy that I liked. I pounded the drum a little bit for Josh Hoover to come here. The only issue I had was I wanted a little bit more mobile of a quarterback for Lane Kiffin and his offense. That's not really Josh Hoover. As far as throwing the ball, though, Hoover in his college career, 65% completion percentage, 71 touchdowns, 33 interceptions. It was 29-13 a year ago. So anybody that's wondering if Kurt Cignetti and Indiana are going to be a flash in the pan, no. I think they got one of the best quarterbacks in the portal. Again, outside of Josh Hoover, where do you look for Indiana? Like Rocco Beck's on here for Penn State. Yeah, but they had like 30 transfers all from Iowa State straight to Penn State when Matt Campbell took that job. It just, when I look at LSU, I see Levitt, I see Seaton, I see Benefield, Uman Miel, and all of these guys that could have potentially been on this list for the top portal edition for LSU. And I get really excited about what's to come. And I realize this is why you brought Kiffin here. They call him the portal king for a reason. He did a bang-up job. I'm excited for spring practice to start. All right, we will take a quick timeout. Coming up on the other side, Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, had to move to Wednesday from his normal Monday slot, but we're talking to him next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Just when I thought I got him to fall in love with Tennessee.
Off the Bench, presented by Hood Dental.
Remind you about our friends over at Oshner Health. When it comes to your health, you want a team that you can trust. That's why so many families across Louisiana choose Oshner Health. From primary care to advanced specialty care, Oshner brings together top physicians, innovative technology, and convenient locations all across the state. So whether it's a routine checkup, a sports injury care situation, heart health, or something a little bit more serious, they are with you every step of the way. Healthcare isn't one size fits all. We tell you that all the time. It is personal, and at Oshner, your care is built around you. So take control of your health today. You can visit oshner.org to find a provider or schedule an appointment. And I tell you all the time, man, when we were putting together Elite Training Academy, they were certainly the partner that we wanted. It's been a great partnership. You can visit that location of Burbank as well. All right.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 here on a Wednesday edition of Off the Bench, brought to you by Hood Dental. We normally have him on Monday around this time, but he's been a busy man. I'm sure he's had a lot of fun with all the Mardi Gras going on in New Orleans. Our guy Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, joins us now. Dev, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's happening? How we doing?
We're doing good. Man, you've been busy the last couple of days. Huh? How was Mardi Gras?
Busy having the time of my life. Yeah. It was amazing, man. It really was, especially in Endymion Sunday. And I'm just sitting here reading the Shia LaBeouf saga.
I was about to ask you if you were out there with Shia.
Hilarious.
So,
I just got a chance to sit down and look at this, and it's just so obnoxious.
I was going to ask you about that, like if you had heard about it. So apparently he just was picking on the wrong group of guys, and they beat his ass outside of this bar in New Orleans. It was about 2 or 3 guys got arrested. I think he's since out of jail, but got charged with battery. Not a good day for our guy.
Yeah, and he got out of jail and went right back to bourbon.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that part.
Oh, dude, this is a New Orleans tale if I've ever heard one. I mean, we'll talk about this forever. It's just crazy that Louis Stevens is causing so much chaos right now during Mardi Gras.
Man, I forgot about it. Dude, Even Stevens was an elite show. I mean, I remember when the Even Stevens movie was coming out. I mean, I thought that was going to change my life forever.
Yeah, and all the characters too, dude. Like even Twitty, Louis Stevens' best friend. Twitty was funny. Ren had her own style.
You had Beans. Yeah,
I mean, dude, these were real TV characters, bro. This is, I just feel like they could never replicate something like that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Dev, you talking about having the time of your life out there in Mardi Gras. How many parades did we hit, or were you just bouncing around all of them?
I went to Muses. I caught 2 shoes at Muses, so that was a good night. That was Thursday night. Laid low Friday to get the spot for Endymion. Went to Endymion. Then I went to Toth. I didn't make it to Bacchus. This happens every year. And then went to Zulu yesterday and caught some coconuts.
Toth is the early morning one, right?
Yeah, Toth is pretty early, but Zulu's even earlier. Zulu starts at 8 o'clock, dude. 8 a.m.
I hear more people that live out in the New Orleans area, go out there every year. So many people tell me Toth is their favorite parade now.
Yeah, because Toth throws the most. You know what I'm saying? They throw more than any other parade. So yeah, if you got a nice spot for Toth, you're gonna get bombed. I mean, they throw everything but the float, literally.
Were you out there at Endymion? Did you get to see Lane Kiffin?
I did see Lane Kiffin. He didn't see me, but still in all, I mean, it was a nice float too. Really was. It was a cool looking float. Lane, I don't know, man. I don't know how Lane does this, man. I feel like he's on a social tour right now. This dude is everywhere, man. Especially down here, man. He's been down here a lot.
Yeah, some at the Pelicans game. I'm like, dude, you really got to be just fully diving into the Louisiana culture if you're going to go to a Pelicans game.
Yeah, he's on a culture tour. That's right. He's on a culture tour right now.
Dev, moving away from Mardi Gras, Winter Olympics going on right now. How locked in are you? Because, I mean, you always like to dip your toes in a lot of different areas. I know you're big on the UFC, and I mean, obviously, huge fan of all things Saints. Winter Olympics, where do you fall in that category? Are you locked in, or is it just kind of background fodder?
I can't even tell you I'm background. Where do you even watch the Olympics? Peacock?
Yeah, Peacock, because it's NBC. So you got Peacock on it, but no Olympics for you?
No, I mean I'll tune in for the Summer Olympics, the Winter Olympics. I don't know, man. What you want me to watch on the one? You know what I'm saying? What's a good thing going with the Winter Olympics right now? What's a good sport?
The downhill skiing's pretty good. That's kind of the
downhill.
Well, so I like the ski jump where they make the one giant jump, because I always wonder how they train for that sport, because if you crash, you're getting seriously injured. So I don't really understand how they train for something like that. But no, I'm with you. I was always more locked into Summer Olympics as well, because growing up, I like to watch the dominance that was Michael Phelps. I just feel like the U.S.
Oh yeah,
the U.S. has never really had that one Winter Olympic athlete that's kind of just captivated everyone.
I guess you could say maybe what?
Shaun White.
Shaun White, but
Yeah.
that wasn't. Yeah, was that Winter Olympics though, or was that X Games?
I think it was both.
He did like 3
Okay.
Winter Olympics, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the most legendary. Got to be the most legendary American Winter Olympic guy.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to think
mean,
who else.
like you got Lindsey Vaughn, but I mean, every talk about her has been she broke her leg going down the hill. I mean, she didn't even really get to compete this year, and she's 41. It's probably her last Olympics. Like the U.S., as far as like marketing for the Winter Olympics, like I just found out the Olympics was coming up like 3 months ago.
Yeah, and then all right. So what's up with the flag football? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So that's
For
the next
for
summer Olympics.
Okay, and I saw it like during the Super Bowl. It had Jalen Hurts, and is that our quarterback?
I don't know, but they are letting like NFL players play in it because there was a big debate on like, oh, do you let like the current flag football leagues across America do it? And they were like, nah, we want to get eyeballs on this thing, man. So they are letting current NFL players play in the flag football league. I imagine the U.S. is going to dominate that.
Yeah, dude, I would be devastated if they didn't. I mean, imagine, but then you never know. You know, there may be some other countries that are strictly practicing flag football, dude, the ins and outs.
Speaking of
I don't
football,
know.
Dev, you know, the time to franchise tag people is going on right now, and the Saints have a couple veterans that's contracts are coming up. They gotta bring back Cam and DeMario, right?
They not. DeMario, I've said this on this show before. I do not believe DeMario is coming back. I think DeMario Davis is going to be a Chicago Bear. That's just my early prediction on it.
Reunite with Dennis Allen?
Yep. And then I think that if out of all these guys, I think Cam would be the one that we work something out with. And I think Taysom, I don't want to say he's retiring, but I just don't think he'll be back in the Saints uniform either. That's just my guess. I'm pretty confident with the DeMario thing, though, because of how he talks since the season's been over.
I mean, the thing about DeMario is, though, man, like I look at it and everybody's like, oh, you know, he's going to be 37 and all this. He set career highs in tackles this year, and before that it was last year. Like, DeMario Davis has actually had his 2 best years of the last 2 seasons. If I'm the Saints, I got to bring this guy back.
Trust me, they're going to want to, but I think he's playing hardball, dude, because of all those things you just said. I think that he's going to be playing hardball. I don't think it'll just be money either. I think it will be, hey, like to go and get in position. I mean, look what the Bears did this past year. I don't know, man. If you listen to any of his interviews since the season ended, it just sounds like he's about to play a little hardball, respectfully.
I think Saints fans would be devastated by that. But like Cam Jordan, Cam to me seems like he's in it for the long haul. Like I was talking about it the other day. Like you go into the Superdome for any Saints games, you're gonna see 94 jerseys, most, if not most, like second most of any jersey in there. I mean, you'll see some Breeze ones, obviously, but like Cam Jordan, like kind of is the New Orleans Saints right now.
Yeah, and he had a great season. I mean, he had 10 sacks. It's not like this dude had 4 sacks and we like just, rooting for a good guy here. I mean, this guy played good. So, yeah, I could never see Cam Jordan playing in another uniform or anything like that. And I do think that they'll work it out, but it's just the other two, DeMario and Taysom, I think it's over. I really do, man.
Bro, I was going to say, like, in terms of Cam Jordan, he did, like, come out and say, I love the Saints, would love to stay.
Yeah.
But DeMario did the complete opposite. So I'm kind of with you. It's going to be, like, I think he is going to play some hardball, and it might be a little bit of a challenge to get DeMario back on board with New Orleans.
And the thing about it is Stutzman, who we know is, a little flash, I'm still not confident just rolling out there with Stutzman only, though, or Stutzman and who knows, Werner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If DeMario doesn't come back, they're gonna have to go get somebody.
It changes everything. Free agency, Dev. It changes everything in the draft. Like DeMario leaving is not just losing your middle linebacker. Like it changes your entire offseason strategy. And I'm with you on Stutzman. Like he had flashes last year, but I mean he still needs to put on a little bit of weight to be an NFL middle linebacker. And
yes.
Like can he be an every down player? Like we don't know. But like if the Saints do in fact let him walk, man, they're gonna be in for quite the hectic offseason. Deb, before we get you out of here, what's the rest of the week look like for you? You got anything coming up, or are you just in pure recovery mode from the craziness that was Mardi Gras?
Yeah, I just figure another day of recovery mode. I mean, it was like 4 straight days of this, man. So it's over. Another day of recovery. And then, yeah, dude, I got a lot of stuff to tackle, man. I got a lot of challenges, especially, the whole YouTube thing. I'm really trying to get that going more than what it is. So I'm back to off-season Mayo, trying to tackle challenges, man, and do new stuff.
Hell yeah, man. I can't wait to see what you do next. The RBNR was awesome. I'm excited for everything you got coming your way. All right, guys, that is Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. You can catch him on Twitter, Snow like John. Dev, thanks so much for hopping on today.
All right, y'all take care.
All right, that was Devin Snow. We here on OTB. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more after this. You're on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
All right, go to pelicanroof.com, the website for Pelican Roofing in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge. They are boots on the ground in both locations, ready to help you. So if you need a roof repair, roof replacement, whatever it might be, they have got you covered, and they've got you covered with the best customer service, with the best work. That's why you go to the website, pelicanroof.com. You see 5-star reviews all over the homepage, and that's actual customers that have worked with Pelican Roofing. So don't delay. If you need anything when it comes to your roof, go to pelicanroof.com.
Right, Pelican Roof, pelicanroof.com. If you are starting a project, whether it's a new build, whether it's renovation, maybe it's just a roof repair. You got a leak, you got an old roof, whatever it is. It's just that time. Make sure you give them a call. And we know it's a big decision that you're going to have to make for your family and yourself. And financially, it can make a big impact. So go let them help you with the financing. Financing options right there at their homepage. Get the entire process started at pelicanroof.com.
He was working through college on my grandpa's farm.
Off the bench, presented by Hood Dental.
I was thirsting for knowledge.
All right, we are so fired up to be back with RejuveMe and RejuveMeMedical.com. Several locations across
more than
Louisiana.
several. You kidding me?
Baton Rouge, right there on Bluebonnet and Jefferson. You've got also the Bluebonnet in Highland. You've got Prairieville, Metairie, Slidell, Covington, Houma, Shreveport, Monroe, Lake Charles, Lafayette. Also, you got some locations there in Mississippi, and they have been the leader in HRT, right? Hormone replacement therapy, helping you regain that energy, that boost that you once had, getting back to feeling like your normal self. Go see them today at RejuveMeMedical.com.
That's right. Yeah, kind of like Groovy's maybe kind of a little wiry. If you're not feeling fiery anymore as a man, you get a little bit older, you got that hormones, they start getting out of whack a little bit. Well, go there, get a medical, get a panel, get a blood panel just to see. Go see what's happening. If there's something, maybe it's not, but if there is, they are the leader in Louisiana for over 10 years at hormone replacement therapy. Go check them out. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3 here on a Wednesday edition of OTB. Just about 20 minutes or so left to go here on today's show. And my God, Strawberry Wine might be my favorite one-hit wonder of all time. Like, Dina Carter made that song and then just said, you know what? I'm good. I mean, look, she obviously had others, but none of them were as big of a hit as Strawberry Wine. My gosh. One of this might be a top 5 Taylor song. I love this song. Guys, Alondra's vibing right now.
This is a great song.
It is an incredible song.
It makes me want to do karaoke.
Right. This is a
It
great
would sound
karaoke
terrible.
song. But it's also
everybody
song,
would sing
I was
with
about to say,
you.
it's a song that a lot of people know. They would join in and sing. Those are the best karaoke songs. The ones where people will join
I would
in
say,
with.
get out a lighter
Yeah, this is a lighter song.
to
Yeah.
flick it
Hell yeah.
and hold it up.
God, this song's a vibe. I'm going to be 30 next year.
Oof.
By
just
the
kidding.
way,
I'm just-
Braxton, you're like 12 years old. When you become, in your mid-20s, every birthday's pretty much going to feel the same. When I got to 28, everything changed. I'm like late 20s. I turned 29 in September, and I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta cherish this forever. Like, that's it. In September, I'll be 30.
That's a milestone.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'll be 30, I'll be a dad. Like,
Yeah.
That's real.
life comes at you
It's
fast,
the dad
buddy.
part that's like, ugh.
Oh,
I know. And you know what's even...
So Jake and I, when we were on the way back from Mobile, we were like, ooh, Taylor's about to have a straight up reality check when he has a kid.
Oh, yeah. And the crazy thing about it is I'm kind of the last of my friend group. Like, the guy who was the best man in my wedding, he just had a baby in December. Buddy of mine's firstborn turned 1 on Saturday. So, I mean, they already have kids. So, I mean, I'm getting old.
I just said I'm just 21, but
Oh, Jesus. Cassie's been my coworker for like 2 years now, and she's the same age as my younger brother, which makes me feel bad pretty much every day.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, okay, so I just turned 28. And y'all know that I was having like a bit of an existential crisis before.
Right.
But I'm like, no, I think we're still young. Like 28.
You're good. You're good.
Like,
you got 2 more years.
28, but I still feel like 30 is pretty young too, though. Like, I don't think you hit your rhythm or prime until you're like mid 30s.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's where I'm going at.
No, I think that's objectively true.
I'm gonna adopt that.
Yeah.
I mean, once you see your kids start, walking, hitting all these other milestones, then it might hit a little different. But you haven't experienced all that yet. So still young.
We'll see. You know who's not young? Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill he has been released by the Miami Dolphins for failing a physical, but they were going to move on from him anyways. Tyreek Hill, 31 years old, and then, of course, all the wide receiver needy teams, these NFL insiders say, oh, well, this team's got to land Tyreek Hill. So the question presents itself, should the New Orleans Saints sign Tyreek Hill? Absolutely not. They should not sign Tyreek Hill.
But you know that they're definitely looking at him.
Mickey Loomis loves an aging vet.
That is a Saints ass.
Loves an aging
pickup.
vet. Right. And like 2 years ago, back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons, still looked like he was one of the best receivers in the NFL. 2 years ago, played the full season, less than 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Also had 11.8 yards per catch, lowest of his career. Last year, he only played in 4 games. He was injured the entire season. He's coming off of a knee injury. I just mentioned he had a potential failed physical, 268 yards receiving and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill is well past his prime. Also, he's not what the New Orleans Saints need. He's an aging vet. Also, it's clear that he's lost a step when he's on the field, and he's a 5'11 guy who relies on his speed, and I mean, his speed may not be there the same way. He's coming off a knee injury. He's 31 years old. Go find me a highlight reel of Tyreek Hill making contested catches. You're not going to do it because they're not out there. Tyreek Hill, speed guy, not the best route runner, not really a contested catch guy. That's what you need. Like, we talk about Chris Olave all the time. Great route runner. He needs to be better with contested catches. Bringing in Tyreek Hill solves none of that for you.
You know who else is a free agent? Mike Evans. He's also not.
Also, don't bring him
anymore.
in. I got some options for us that are a little bit younger than what maybe we could look at with a Tyreek Hill or a Mike Evans. Because right now, your 2 proven weapons are Chris Olave and Juwan Johnson. I am not putting Devon Vele in that proven weapon option yet. He had a pretty good 3 to 4 game run this year with Tyler Shuck, but we need to see a little bit more. So you got 2 proven guys, Olave and Juwan Johnson. Right now, Juwan Jennings is a free agent. Is Juwan Jennings going to solve all of your problems? No, but he's a different type of receiver than what you already have. He's 6'3", he's 215 pounds. This year wasn't the best year for him. 15 games, 643 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns, but that entire team was out of whack, right? The 49ers had so many injuries. Rumors as to why all these injuries occurred. We got into all that, but when he was fully healthy 2 years ago, and he was even in and out of the lineup then, he had a nagging injury, 975 yards and 6 touchdowns on a playoff team, and had 77 catches. Juwan Johnson is a really good player. You're not going to have to ask him to be your bona fide number 1 receiver because you got Chris Olave there to take some of the pressure off of him. But Juwan Johnson is a guy. He'll be 29 years old next season. He's a big body. He could provide something for you that you don't already have. What about Christian Kirk? Again, he's not going to solve all of your issues, but he's younger than Tyreek Hill. Now, Kirk's been in and out of the lineup too. He played in 13 games with 3 starts this year, only 8 games the year before. He's 29 years old. But can you bring in Kirk to be your number 2 behind Olave? I'm okay with that, provided he could stay healthy. He's still younger and cheaper than a Tyreek Hill. He could probably make a little bit more impact at this point. What about Deebo Samuel? I get it. Everyone wants to say, oh, Deebo's old, he's fat, he's out of shape. Deebo was pretty good this year for Washington. He started 12 games, 727 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. He was their number 1 guy.
He did terrible for my fantasy, though.
He did terrible for your fantasy, sure. Which, again, big part of the equation. But Jaden Daniels is out all year. Like, you go look at how bad that offense was once Jaden went down. 727 and 5 touchdowns. You go look at what everybody else put up. Like, even Terry McLaurin had a down year. Even he was in and out of the lineup with an injury. Could a Deebo Samuel maybe bring you something? Again, he's not going to solve all of your problems, but I'd probably prefer Deebo over Tyreek Hill. He had a much better year last year. And again, probably still a little bit cheaper. What about bringing back Rashid Shaheed? Now, I would like it, but just because you know Shaheed could do well in this system. The thing about Rashid Shaheed is, though, he's never been a target monster. He's never been one of those guys who's just going to have 12, 13 catches a game. I mean, his best season in New Orleans, yardage-wise, was back in 2023, 719 yards, 5 touchdowns. 2025, combined between New Orleans and Seattle, 687 yards. And in Seattle, he had 15 catches. His biggest impact in Seattle was in the return game. If you want to bring him back for that, I'm all good with it. I view Rashid Shaheed as a great number 3 option. I view him as a number 3 option. I don't think the Saints will bring him back, only because I think he's kind of attached to the Raiders right now. His offensive coordinator in Clint Kubiak, who he played for under here in New Orleans as well, is the new head coach of the Raiders. I think that makes a ton of sense for a guy like Rashid Shaheed because Kubiak knows how to use him. I think it would be a tough sell to get him to come back here. If you don't get any of those big-time free agents, though, for me, like my preference would be to draft a young receiver in the draft. You have 8 overall. At 8, it's tough for me to pass up on a guy like Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate in round 1. But you could. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Jordan Love. There's been a lot of talk about edge rushers. I'm okay with it. Again, I would prefer one of those elite guys, but it's a deep receiver class. Zachariah Branch. He had a really good year at Georgia. He'll be there when you're picking at 43. Omar Cooper from Indiana. Chris Brazzell is 6'5" out of Tennessee. That fits some of your needs. He's a really good player. Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper's buddy from Indiana. He'll be there later in the draft. Because you're picking 42nd overall and then 73rd. A lot of these guys will be there. There's rumors now that KC Concepcion could fall out of the first round. I don't think he will, but if he does and he's there at 42 overall, you could take KC Concepcion. A little bit smaller than what you would like. He sits there at 5'11", but he's a good enough athlete to where it doesn't matter a lot of the times. He was one of the most athletic receivers in college football this year. You don't have to sign any of these guys. The point I'm trying to make is there's going to be a lot of rumors, whether it's the Saints or other teams, trying to throw a bag at Tyreek Hill, try to see if they can make one last run at a Super Bowl. And I don't think he's a good fit in New Orleans. One, I think New Orleans is a year away from a Super Bowl run. I'm not sure how desirable that would be for Tyreek Hill, but also Tyreek Hill, around 5'10", a guy who's clearly lost a step while he's on the field. He's 31 years old. He's going to command a lot of money on the open market. Is it really worth it to you? Like, Tyreek Hill is a 1, at most 2-year rental for the New Orleans Saints. That doesn't really fit what you're trying to build there in New Orleans. I say no to Tyreek Hill. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. When we get back, we'll close this show out like we do every day with Ask the Bench.
Off the bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org, the one-stop shop for all of your plumbing needs, but not only in Central. It is the entire greater Baton Rouge area. We are talking to you. If you have any plumbing issue, they are always going to be there for you 24/7, 365 weekend, holiday game day. Today, first pitch, 2 o'clock. And if you have an issue, trust me when I say they're still going to be there. 225-500-0774. 225-500-0774. That is the number. Call them today, centralplumbing.org.
Right, centralplumbing.org. And like Jake said, that's like a huge resource to have. Just knowing that if anything ever goes wrong at your place of work, at your home, with a plumbing, like they can call, and it doesn't matter what is happening. It doesn't matter if it's the bottom of the ninth. It doesn't matter if there's a huge gold medal race happening in the Olympics. They will come. They will service your every single need right there. CentralPlumbing.org.
Off the Bench, presented by Hood Dental.
I brought flowers to your door last night.
Can we just play this for the whole last segment?
This is
I would love
Jake's
that.
jam.
This one and Bubba Shot the Jukebox.
Yeah.
You want to get Jacob Esther going? These are the ones. A good song. They like recut this last year, and they brought in Luke Combs to do it with them. It was great. If anybody hasn't heard it, it was awesome. Shenandoah still got it too.
Marty still has great hair.
Does he?
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen him in person.
He gave me an Oreo last time I saw him.
They were Rock the Country?
I don't
No,
remember.
Mark Chestnut. Mark Chestnut was a Rock the Country. That's the one that Jake was excited about. We didn't get out there though.
Kid Rock was good there.
Was he?
Kid Rock is awesome.
I went for Nickelback. I went
Yeah,
for
we saw
Nickelback and dipped.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see Kid Rock at this last Rock the Country. I saw
It was
him
the
at
year before.
the year before.
I know they're not coming back here
Wait.
this year.
No, they're not.
They were at something not long ago. It was like somewhere in Livingston.
Yeah, that was Rock the Country last year.
That's what I thought?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you had an Ask the Bench.
Oh yeah, you
I
did say that.
What you got? We'll get to the chat ones in a
Get
second.
closer
What you
to
got?
the mic.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. So in college basketball, there is one team that is still undefeated. You know what that is?
So, yes, but I'm going to cheat a little bit because Jake gave us this last week. It's Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. They currently have 7 games left. Do you think they can finish undefeated?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Now, are they going to get a 1 seed? No.
No.
They'll be like a 5 seed in the tournament or something. Yeah, they can. I mean, they're clearly at the top of their conference. Why not? They've had a really good season so far. Yeah, now they're going to have to go through the conference tournament undefeated as well. That I don't know. Regular season, sure. Conference tournament, because a lot of those teams, you know, they have a really good regular season. They're already locked up. They rest some of their guys in that conference tournament because it doesn't matter. So that'll be the one to watch. But yeah, I think they can do it.
There have been 8 teams that have been undefeated for their entire season, including NCAA tournament, and won the championship. 8 teams.
Ask the Bench. Heard Tay briefly go over LSU wide receivers. Who's going to be our 1-2 punch like Malik and BTJ, Jefferson Chase, Odell and Landry?
Winnie and Trey
Wilson. Okay.
That's just off the top of my head.
No, I like it. Since you put Trey Wilson in there, I'll go 2 completely different. Jace Brown and Jackson Harris.
I like Jace Brown.
Okay, I'll go Jace Brown and
Jackson
Jackson Harris.
from Hawaii?
Yep.
I got Jace Brown and Wilson.
Okay. That's actually what I was gonna go. I just wanted to have
Different,
2 different ones. Okay, Ask the Bench. Are you sure it's your baby? Yes, guys, I'm sure. Yes, guys. I mean, I don't know for sure, but yeah. I mean, I'm like 99.99999% sure that it is. Ask the Bench.
Who's my baby is that? You know what I'm talking about?
That's the Cat Williams
Cat
thing.
Williams.
So I've never actually seen that movie.
Oh.
I've seen the clip though.
Yeah.
Of it. The clip, that is one of the funniest clips I've ever seen. He's like, "That's your baby." He goes, "No, just because
you
he's
name him."
This one might be. Just
Yeah.
because you named him Daryl doesn't mean he belongs to Daryl." He
Right.
goes, "I don't care what this baby's name is. That's a white child."
Cracks me
He's
up.
like, "That kid's got a 730 credit score right
Yeah.
now." Cat Williams used to be, golly.
He's awesome.
I hadn't heard any stand-ups in a while, but he used to be like my favorite one out there. All right, that's going
Poor
to...
little Tink Tink.
Oh, you seen the clip of Theo Vaughn having a statue of Cat Williams, but it's
It's a nutcracker.
nutcracker.
Yeah, it just looks exactly like Cat Williams.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty much going to do it for today's Off the Bench. Fun show. Hit a lot of different things. Had some Saints, some LSU football, a lot of baseball talk as the Tigers will take on the Nicholls State Colonels this afternoon, 1 o'clock in Alec Box. Dr. Stephen Etheridge was in studio for his normal 8 a.m. segment. Thanks to him for coming by. LSU Beach volleyball coach Russell Brock, we had a really good talk with him at 8:15. Their season officially begins on Friday out in New Orleans And then Devin Snow, hold the mayo. He upped on with us at 8:15. Normally here on Monday, but straight from the horse's mouth, he said, I was busy having the time of my life for the past 4 days. I don't doubt it. Saw some vids, some pics from out there in New Orleans. Looked like it was a really good time. A lot of people out there, the Endymion Parade. I don't know if they could have fit a single person out there, but again, Tigers coming up this afternoon. We'll recap it tomorrow. We got 2 more days left. Flynn will be back on Monday. We'll see with Jake as well, but we're hanging out with you the rest of the week. 2 more days left with you. Again, we got a lot of LSU baseball talk coming your way. They start their next weekend series on Friday, so stay tuned. Thursday and Friday, we'll be right here with you on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.